Guys, it's your boy eFootball God. I'm back again with another video. So guys, today I'm going to be explaining everything about how to build an unstoppable squad with new players, new manager, and I will also explain every feature in this game for you. I know some people are confused on how to go about or how to use some of these features. So don't even understand it because there is a new change like compared to PS 2021. So guys, this video is going to be long. I hope you find it interesting at the end. So let's start with the eFootball World Place. The trial match is where you play trial matches. You can select your home and away match and play a trial match. And the other place you will see is the dream team, which is match. In this place, you can play what is called the event mode. Remember event game you do play? You can play event game here against AI. A lot of the matches are against AI, so you can play those events. So this last one, World Club, is user matches, so you can play a lot of AI matches here and gain a lot of rewards. So and we have and again we have other event too in the dream mode, the dream mode. So the eFootball League PvP is not yet available. They promoted to the next division. It's not available, but you can play a quick match here. You remember the standard match? We do call it standard match in PS21. This is it. You can play a quick match here. So we have other features like the next one there is the game plan. Here is where you plan your game. We will come back to that later. So we have my team. In my team, here is the place you see the amount of players you have. And here is where you can renew your players' contract. So guys, this is how you renew your player contract, or this is how you renew players' contract. Pay attention when you log into this game newly. Konami will give us 35 contract renewal. We can only renew 35 players contract. So be careful the kind of players contract you renew. Only renew the player you need contract. Don't go wasting your contract renewal. So like me, I have renewed the contract I need, and it's for just 60 days. So I have just 16 16 contract left. So pay attention on how you renew players contract. Don't just go and be renewing any player you see. Only renew the players you need contract. And again, there are players you don't renew their contract. Such players are like the standard cards, like they call it carry over in PS21, or if it is not carry over, it is the normal card you get by signing player with GP. We call it a standard card. So it's a standard card. You don't renew those ones contract. It lasts for 360 days before it will expire. So but your legend and legendary players, or any other player like legend and legendary players in your squad, you have to renew it with 60 days contract. So that is it. Let's move ahead to the manager. Here is where you see your managers you have, and we need to sign a manager because when you log into the game, Konami will always give you a manager that you don't like, but you can sign more manager when we get there. So let's move ahead to the next thing on the line. We have contracts. So in this contract is the place you can see special players, so you can try signing players here. So I have Iniesta, I have Kluivert, only but Ferreira is the player I don't have. I tried signing, I got a player, I can't even pronounce his name. So you can sign players here with 100 my club 100 eFootball coins, no longer my club coins. So there are other players you can sign here with eFootball coins. So here is a nominating contract, but you have to make sure you have a nominating contract. So as for me, I have only 2-star nominate. Look up in the screen, you will see 5-star, you will see 4-star, you will see 3-star, you will see 2-star. So you will see the amount of nominating contract you have. So I have only 2-star nominating contract, so I can only sign 2-star player in this place, so I don't want to risk that to sign a 2-star player. So I would rather wait when I have a 5-star nominating contract. So on the list again is standard player. Here you can sign any player you want. I signed Manenua, so you can sign any player you want here. With GP, we call it standard players. So they are standard players, and when you sign them, their contract lasts until 360 days before it will expire. So try as much as possible to get your standard player if you're a newcomer in this game. But people like us who have been playing this game since 2017, we don't need to sign this kind of player because we have legend and we have legendary players already. So let's move on to the manager list. So here is the place you sign managers. So I have to sign manager here because I don't have I only have one manager. So welcome me as we sign our Luis A. Roma. You all know Luis A. Roma is the current manager of Man City. So let's sign him with 500,000 GP. So we just signed a Roman. So let's also sign G. Zala, who is the current manager of Liverpool. So let's sign him. So we have the GP. So we have Jose Mourinho, and we have Cristo Valbuena, who is Diego Simeone of Atletico Madrid, and Jose Mourinho is of Roman and manager Allegri. We have Nagelsmann, we have Ralf Ragnar and Fernando Santos. We have Giripa, who is Antonio Conte, and we have Prius, who is Chelsea manager Thomas Tuchel. So you can sign any manager you need here. So let's move ahead to the other place that I will explain. I told you this video will be long. Please, if you want to understand this game, you have to watch this video to the end to understand this game. So now we move to the objectives. So in the objectives area, this is the place you see the objectives you have completed. So once you complete an objective here, you can claim the reward here. It will appear here. Any objective you claim, any objective you have completed, it will appear here. So I have 14 of it that I haven't claimed. So I have completed 14 objectives. So I can just click receive all, and I will receive all of my objectives. So now I still have other objectives to complete after receiving the ones that I have completed. So make sure you come here to claim your objectives. So claim your reward. This is the ones I have claimed already. This is where you see the ones you have claimed, and this is where you see the ones you can claim. So let's move on to the weekly objective. This is your weekly objectives. This is where they appear. Once you complete your weekly objectives, you can come here to claim it. I don't have any now, and this is where you see the ones you have claimed. So let's move into the other chapter. Remember, we are going to talk about how we build an unstoppable squad. Remember, we're going to talk about that. So we go to the shop. In this shop, we have eFootball coin shop. In this eFootball coin shop, you can buy coins from here, and in the eFootball point here, you can sign either player of your choice, or you can sign items. You can get an item called a contract renewal, 60 days. So you will get contract renewal. One of it is 25,000 GP, which is very, very expensive, and you can get the training, the experience training to train your players. You can get it 5,000. So you can also get all this training to use to like train your player. 4,000 training trainer, 1,100 trainer respectively. So you can get it from here with your eFootball point. So let's move on to extras. In the extras, this is where you train. Here you train your players, either the command tutorial or free training. You can go here and perform your training. And here is the game settings, where you do the play settings, you do the language, notification, audio, and the commentary. You download your commentary. So, and here is where you get support from Konami. You can either link your data from here, service and information about the game, check and balance the version of the game you have. So you can check all that here. So you can all your complete purchases like like coins and other items you purchase will appear. They check completed purchases. So the Konami apps recommended content, I think, will come in the future. So here is where you see the credit approval, the clubs or the license Konami have in the game. This is where you see all the club license they have, the players or team they have a license. This is where you see every information. So and we have other info here. So we have the help. Here you can you can view match control sorted by category. So you can see your dribbles and all those things, passing, stunning passes, all this of percentage of the one you have done, the camera and everything. You can see it here, your everything. So here you can view general information. So and the last one is the user information. So here you can see your details. You can see your details like your current, your highest, and your currency rating. So if you have C, that means you cheat a lot, so they have reported you a lot. So this is your Konami ID will appear above. So and your highest rating will appear here, your current and this thing form and everything will appear here. So and again, the match history is where you see your match record. So your match record will appear here, and here is where you see your dream team. You can edit your dream team name, the club, and all that. You can do that. So if you are new to this game, remember when you are logging in, Konami will give you a new team, a new coach, a new everything. But if you are old in this game, you already have your players. All you have to do is now go straight to building an unstoppable squad in the game. So let's dive into game plan. In the game plan, I have already built my team. So I have already built an unstoppable squad. This is a complete legendary player squad. So what will happen now is, if we want to change, maybe we want to change, for example, we want to change manager. How do we change manager before we talk about how to build an unstoppable team? So you can touch on the manager, click on change manager. We signed 2 managers, right? So we have to use a Roman, which is Pep Guardiola. So we just confirm him. So now we have a Roman in the team. So looking at it, you see by signing a good manager, your players get some kind of boosts and all that. So make sure you use a good manager. So now let's talk about how you build a team. So in eFootball, you always want to check out the players' details. That is the first thing you check in the game. Check your players' details. Check out the playing styles. It's very important. Like Beckenbauer is a build-up defender, and so it's good to use one build-up defender and one destroyer. So check out that stats before using them. Make sure in the defense you use one build-up and one destroyer. So I will advise you to do that. So his playing style is destroyer per your playing style. So make sure you use a good defender with a decent defensive awareness, that have a good defensive awareness. So if you see his defensive engagement, aggression, tackling, and is very, very good. So his defensive awareness is good, but I have to train him up to see it. So his heading is also good. So defenders that are very good on air, defensive awareness is very, very good. So in the fullback position, you can use an offensive fullback, a defensive fullback, it doesn't matter. So but make sure they are very, very good with they are very, very good in terms of going forward. If they are offensive, if they are defensive, make sure they are good defensively. So looking at careful. You can see his stamina is very, very good, and looking at his attributes is not that bad because I have to level him up to see the best. So make sure you use defender fullbacks that are fast, at least 88 speed or 86 speed upward is highly recommended. Either use offensive or defensive fullback, it doesn't matter. Make sure they have speed because sometimes they go forward a lot, so when the opponent is attacking you, they can recover to defend. So, and having a center back that is fast is the added advantage. So when it comes to the defensive midfield or central midfielder, make sure you use a defensive midfielder that is a destroyer, anchorman, orchestrator, or any type of defensive midfielder, but make sure that defensive awareness is good, or boss to boss like Vieira. I have Vieira boss to boss, I have Vieira destroyer. The destroyer is actually the best, but I love using the boss to boss because I know how to control him. So make sure they are very good defensively. So if they are good both defensively and offensively, it's the added advantage, just like Vieira is good offensively and defensively. So it's an added advantage for you. His defensive engagement is very, very good. So make sure you do that. A destroyer is a good defensive midfielder. So when it comes to central midfielder, if you want to use a central midfielder, make sure they are good offensively. So they can be whole player, they can be offensive, they can be playmaker, or any type of central midfielder, be it orchestrator, anyone, but make sure they are very, very good offensively. So they have good passing, they have good ball control, they have good dribbling, tight possession, low pass, lofted pass. These things are very important, I just listed. So if they have good finishing or speed, it's the added advantage. So core is the added advantage. But if they're also good defensively, it's the added advantage. But the key thing for your central midfielder is they need to have good ball control, dribbling, tight possession, low pass and lofted pass is very, very good. And again, them having a decent stamina is highly recommended. So a balance and stamina is highly recommended. So if I must add Iniesta and Vieira, their stamina and the energy will increase. So if you are using an AMF, make sure you use an AMF that is also very good offensively. It can be whole player, it can be creative playmaker, it can be classic 10, anyone, but make sure they are very, very good offensively. Defensively, it doesn't matter. The same applies to your right wing or left midfield forward or right midfield forward. So in this formation, it came with left midfield forward. So even though you're using a right wing forward, make sure they're very, very good when it comes to going forward. So make sure they have good dribbling, good ball control. So it's highly, highly recommended. So, and the same applies to your right wing. You all know Messi naturally is very, very good offensively. So when it comes to the right wing or left wing position, when it comes to the wing, use players that are good with passing, that are good with decent speed, they can pass, they can score. Scoring is added advantage, so it's highly, highly recommended. So when it comes to a center forward, it's good to use a goal poacher. I will always advise anyone, use a goal poacher as your center forward. First in the box, anchor man, any other one is good, but a goal poacher is the best. Use a goal poacher with a very decent finishing, a decent speed. Ronaldo 84 finishing without being trained to the mass level is good. So looking at this, he's got everything a center forward need. So make sure you use a very good center forward. So when it comes to the bench, what you will do is you can keep a one goalkeeper just in case your goalkeeper have got a red card or is not match fit. Then I will advise you to have a player that can play in multiple positions. So that's what I normally do when it comes to the bench. I always put players that can play in multiple positions. For example, most of these players I have here can play in multiple positions. For example, Rashford here can play in this very position. He can play here, and he can also play as a center forward. So you see, that makes him very versatile. And he can literally even play as an attacking midfield forward, but I won't advise you, but he can also play as a right midfield forward. So this is what happens. Put a versatile player that can play in multiple positions. So when you need to change, you don't have to be stressing yourself to, or maybe the other player might not be match fit. So put players that can play in multiple positions. Another person here is David Beckham. David Beckham can play in this Messi position. He can play as a defensive midfielder. He can play as a central midfielder. So you see, he's very versatile. So I put versatile players on the bench. This helped me to overcome any obstacle when I want to change or when I want to twist my formation. I can also twist this formation by playing two defensive midfielders. I can twist the formation, but I would rather leave it this way. So you can always change your player's position. Like Beckham right now, you can change his position to central midfielder too. It doesn't matter. Even Ronaldinho, you can change it to central midfielder. So you can twist your formation the way you want it. So that is it on how you set up a good squad in this eFootball 2022 or in eFootball game. So make sure you have one defensive midfielder or one central midfielder that can play both defensively and central midfield position. So it's advisable if you have someone who can play in both positions, and this guy can literally play in this position. Right card can play in both positions. And also make sure you have an SS, or if you don't have an SS, make sure you have a whole player. So literally, Johan Cruyff can play here, he can play here, he can play here, and he can play here. So he can play in these four positions. So he's very versatile. So if you see, I have versatile players on the bench. So it's highly recommended. So guys, that is how you build a very good player. So it's not a must, you must have a legendary player. So you can see I haven't renewed this player's contract. Some of them haven't renewed their contract, but I have players here that I can also use when their contract expire and I don't have any contract to renew them. I can bring a standard player to the game. It's good. So if you have standard player, it's not a must, you must use legendary players. You can use standard players. So if you have standard players, go ahead, use your standard players, but make sure you follow these rules I have stated. Use players that are fast, check their position, check where they can play, and their playing style, their stamina. So it's highly recommended. So make sure you pay attention. I know this video is long, and if you have watched up to this extent, thank you for watching, thank you for staying with me. Don't forget to subscribe. So that is it, guys. That is it. And above is where you see is a shortcut for you to perform any task. So you can play any of these events, or the event information. This is where they appear. This is where you see the event information, and these are the place you can execute any of the events. So I have 3 objectives that I have completed to claim. So let's go claim it, and then we end this video. So I will claim the 3 objectives. So that is it, guys. This is the complete tutorial of how you can set up a successful team and also understand the game. I hope you find this video interesting. See you guys in my next video. Peace out.